Welcome back to another fun video, my friends. Today we're going to be taking a nice frolic through the fields of Lolcow Village and seeing what cattle are grazing for our entertainment today. And I happened to come across an interesting little stream where Marty happens to be talking with good old AnnacondaSin again. And after our first run-in with her when she pumped and dumped good old Cyrax, I didn't think I'd really be coming back to her. I thought about doing an episode on her, maybe even a series, but honestly, she doesn't really seem that interesting outside of saying shock jock type jokes, saying extreme things to get attention, etc, etc. Now, this video will definitely shake your brain a little bit. She's gonna say some things that are gonna make you really question if she's trolling or if she actually means what she says. And honestly, at this point, we're just gonna have to take it at face value, because if you present yourself as a certain way, that's clearly what you want people to see you as. So let's jump right into this fun time with Marty and Anaconda and see what's going on.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on? I like the bandana, like thugged out.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Thug life.
Yeah, about
I
it.
live in the hood. I live in the hood.
Yeah. So yeah, I started watching that documentary.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Still documentaries coming out on me. I deleted my TikTok account. Turns out Chameleus has reached out to me either in the past or on Discord. I don't know if it was in a server or it was a one-on-one, but apparently there was a linked conversation between me and him about my dad from back then, talking about from before I moved out or whatever the heck. And there's all the stuff about the linked videos that he recorded without my knowledge on Discord of me talking about the Nintendo experiences that I had.
So as is usual Swamp Dweller fashion, we are jumping in hot here, and it seems like Anaconda is ready to lay it all on the table and set all the records straight from this recent documentary that has dropped. Now, there are countless documentaries on YouTube and the internet at large all about this woman and her antics. Now, she says and has claimed to have done a lot of stuff. Now, a lot of it can't really be corroborated, so we don't know how much of it is just shock jock type stuff like I said in the intro, and how much of it is actually true. She's going to tell us a little bit about this Cornelius guy, how she gets involved with them, and how all of this drama about this particular doggy rumor started and how it got around.
Well, who's Cornelius?
Cornelius was this guy. I'll send you his YouTube channel.
He's like a stinker of sorts. Like he's a rabble rouser. He's like a troll, more or less. Hello?
Wait.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, wait, hold on. It logs me out whenever I'm trying to do this.
Okay, sure.
I'll send you his channel real quick if you don't mind me. If you don't mind waiting real quick, I'll send you his
No,
channel.
I don't mind. So just like really quickly. So does he live? If it's on Tinder, he has to live near you, right?
No, Cornelius was a guy on Discord, and he recorded conversations with me on the internet about my knowledge.
Yeah.
He uploaded all this stuff on the internet, the stuff I was saying or whatever, and people started making these videos on the internet on documentaries. That's basically how this whole thing started.
One of my favorite parts about analyzing Marty's streams when it comes to interviews at Lolcows is that they don't pick up on small things. Like, they're definitely autistic, and I understand that, so they're not going to pick up on social cues as often as some of us would, but the whole twirls and stuff like that coming from Marty's vernacular here just makes me laugh. It's so obvious that he's messing with them in a very subtle way, but they won't pick up on it. He does this with Cyrax a lot, but Cyrax is already so rage-filled and, so full of piss and vinegar that he's just raging to rage and reacting to anything. He's not even reacting to what's being said most of the time. He's just reacting to any movement at all. He's kind of like a T-Rex.
He uploaded to his own channel, and his name's Chameleus, because that's kind of like within his username on a YouTube channel. It's on Kiwi Farms.
Yeah.
To troll website kind of thing or whatever. You're probably familiar with it. You probably don't fit. You seem like you kind of guy that like doesn't fuck with that kind of shit. You're more like I mean, Ian Foot was pretty funny, but his channel got shut down. So like
I don't go on there.
I thought I don't know who you was covering there, but it looked like Ian Foot. But I could.
No. Like I don't want to just like hop on it. Like, you know what I mean? Seems like he's pretty well covered.
Well, I spoke to somebody over the phone once, and they said, well, whatever happened in the past is in the past. He said, well, obviously you don't seem like the kind of person these people make you out to be on the internet. But he's like, just don't mention like the stuff about your dad, like in the future kind of thing or whatever. Because again, there's freedom of speech, the stuff on the internet, right? It gets thrown around. Once he chatted with me, he was like, yeah, you're not at all this person they make you out to be. Yes, I wanted to be famous. I just became famous in a way I didn't expect.
Yo, high key about to bully Anna here a little bit, but why she look like those biker dudes that hang out at that sketchy smoke-filled bar down the street from my house? Why you look like you part of the warlords, brother? Why you look like you part of them Hell's Angels? Why you look like Cyrax in that one picture of him wearing that bandana? God damn it, Anna. Anyways, we're starting to get some juiciness here. We're starting to finally get into the nitty-gritty. She's going to mention a lot that whoever this person is tells her not to do this anymore moving forward. Kind of insinuating that she's done this in the past. So have you done sketchy things with animals? Have you done sketchy things with your family members? Have you done sketchy things in general? Because that's what you're alluding to here. But anyway, let's continue. She's gonna get much worse.
Yeah, I can say off the wall things. I can get some fame. I can shock some people and get some laughs out of it. But it's gone way far beyond what I expected it to be originally.
Have there been any unintended consequences or?
No.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it's just, there was freedom of speech, what you say on the internet and all of that. But it was like, he just said, well, here's what's illegal and what isn't. But he was like, just, make sure you're not doing those things or whatever the heck. I just needed to inform you that the things that are being said on the internet, illegal in real life. And he said, just don't do it, like, in the future or that kind of thing or whatever. Because obviously the dog thing never happened. It was the guy that tried to do the dog. So the thing about that, people that
I didn't even get that far in the documentary.
I really don't think people like Anna, Cyrax, King Cobra, etc. understand the true difference between infamy and fame. Like, there's two very real different things. Now, you can be infamous, but not famous, if you know what I mean. And you can be famous, but also not infamous, you know what I mean? They're not necessarily hand in hand. Now, they can go hand in hand. You can be infamous, famous, all at the same time. You could be like an Alexander the Great or something like that in history, an Attila the Hun, if you will, somebody who's, infamous among the people that he lives among, but also infamously famous as well. That infamy turned into fame. Now, that could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing, but the point that I'm making here really is that Anaconda is not famous, she's infamous, and she's not really known for anything positive, so I don't think that infamy will ever really turn into fame.
Okay, so there was this doctor. I talked to a Ryan guy on TikTok, and then I made a joke about dogs and deals. I read an article on like 4chan or something like that. That stuff goes deep, the internet. This guy used to unalive deal and like have sex with them in the woods and shit. And it was like either a creepypasta or an article that I read. And then there was this guy that I dated on Tinder who was 45, and he wanted me to have sex with his dog, and I broke up with the guy. So then that's basically where I told the story about dog. But then
I remember that. Like, there was dispute. There was uncertainty. At least in my eyes, there's uncertainty over what happened. I know you woke up with like a bunch of dogs.
The problem is Camillus basically mentions in the linked conversation that I talked about wanting to have sex with a dog if I was like hypothetical scenario.
All right. I know what y'all are thinking. Yuns are gonna be like, oh, swamp dweller. She's talking about a creepypasta where some guy was, doing things to deer sexually after he killed them in the woods. My channel had no parts in this. I ain't never heard about this story, ain't never touched a story like this. I get it. I'm the guy that does stories about weird deer in the woods, but I promise you, this ain't one of them. Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Now, we're actually about to get some nitty-gritty details about all this and how that rumor about Anaconda and this dog got out there. Now, she is gonna say some super questionable things, but I don't know if we can say that she actually ever did something like this. But you will hear again, she is gonna say, well, as long as we don't do it in the future, So, again, is she implying that she has done this, or?
If I was out in the country in the middle of nowhere, I'd let a dog fuck me. Scenario. Like, just hypothetical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, something where it's like, obviously, I'm disabled, I have a disability check, I can't just buy a house out in the country and afford to do all those things that I fantasize about doing. I can't just go get a dog and live out in the country and then, have a fucking relationship with it. You know what I mean?
You could. Sounds like quitter talk to me, brother. I don't know about that one. Honestly, when she first started telling this story, I was like, oh, okay, it's just a misunderstanding. Somebody took something out of context, super stretched it like they tend to do on good old TikTok and or Reddit or Kiwi Farms, etc., etc. You can take a little bit of truth and go really far with it on a lot of those websites. But it turns out that this isn't as much as her being like, oh no, it was just something I said that was taken out of context. It's like, no, she's like, nah, I'm disabled, I can't actually do it, but I would love to. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Like, you could have fetishes and have fantasies. Want to be with a black guy, or you could have a thing for your dad or whatever.
What's that, brother?
Or you could think those things, but it's like, as long as you don't actually do them, like, going forward in the future kind of thing.
What?
Like, whatever happened back then, that's all in the past, you know? And this new thing that I found out, well, I knew kind of all along, that due to my disability and having prematurity, that there's a possibility I could be blind. I only have one eye, so I have a prosthetic. So the thing is, I have to have surgery and 6 months recovery. I have to stay with my family. I have to have 3 surgeries. But they have to detach my retina from my eye, do some stuff around in my eye or whatever, some oil or whatever the heck. I gotta go and get like 3 surgeries done, and they gotta like then reattach my retina to the middle of my eye because it's under my eye right now, but it's not getting proper blood flow to it because it's not in the center of my eye.
So this is kind of reminiscent of the Review Tech USA stuff that we've covered recently, where it just seems Anna and somebody like Rich does not have a one-tracked mind. They can't go task by task or topic by topic. They have to just kind of jump in between in the middle of sentences. So now we're suddenly talking about her apparently going blind. I actually have a friend who has a prosthetic eye, so I can't really tell you if she actually has one or not. It's hard to tell by just looking at somebody on a camera, but I mean, it's entirely possible that what she's saying is true, but it could just be something entirely made up as well. You never really know. These people can seem innocent, but a lot of the times they have a lot of really disgusting and manipulative traits.
It may work.
Well, so I'll say this too, that if you were to go, got to consider all the angles here, that if you were to go fully blind, guess what? They'd probably be willing to give you a seeing eye dog.
No, I'll be in a group home.
Okay.
All the things I've said on the internet and all the things I've done, I kind of burned bridges with my sister. I've said a lot of things. I hurt my sister and all this kind of stuff. You know, there's a lot of things that happen now. I have a good sister, yes. She also has 5 kids. Live in a rich neighborhood with my brother-in-law, which works from home, and they have like 9 and under. So it's like a bunch of kids that are like 9 and under. So to have a blind person also, she might, like, all the family might have to pitch in and help me because I'll be blind for 6 months.
Does your sister know about this stuff?
Yeah.
Jeez, Mart Dog, you never let up on the jokes that they'll never pick up on, because maybe they will give her that good old seeing eye dog. You know, maybe she'll be able to fulfill some of them fantasies she was hinting at earlier. It's definitely interesting to see that she can't pick up on that, but at the same time, it's definitely interesting. But at the same time, it's very interesting to see how, like, self-aware Anna can actually be and seems to understand her situation quite well and doesn't really seem to blame anybody but herself. But at the same time, on the same flip of the coin, you'll also see her be like, well, I have nobody because, you know, I messed up and did all these horrible things online. But at the same time, for 6 months, they're gonna have to step up. They don't really have a choice. And it's just like, I don't know, Anna, I guess you'll find out if all this is real, if this is really something you're going to deal with. That's going to be a very interesting time for you.
I mean, what I'm saying is that, like, the stuff I said in the past and things that I've said in the past, you know, about my family or to my sister in general has
Sure.
and also she has kids and stuff. So it makes sense that long term, if I were to be completely blind, if this surgery doesn't pull through, that I would then be in a group home. But it sucks because, yes, I still have 2 ears, but I would be in a group home. So I would have to have like other roommates. I'd have 24-hour staff. I would have people helping me, but I would be completely blind, you know?
So here's what I understand about these group homes is that it's like the level of sexual activity that goes on in these places. It's like camp and spring break. So like it would just be, you know, you'd be in hog head, you know.
I'm gonna be passed around. I'm gonna turn into a whore again.
Now, I don't know how much we can actually say that these group homes actually are basically just big sex dens for the mentally disabled, but I can tell you there are a lot of stories and there are a lot of instances of things like that occurring. And I mean, what else are you going to do when you're locked in a building with the same people all the time? From what I understand, there's a lot more strict supervision than that. A lot of the times it's not co-ed anymore and stuff like that to, you know, prevent these types of things. But sheesh, I don't think it matters if it's boy, girl, dog, horse, goat. Anna would feel right at home playing with every single patient sexually. And just like she said, she's ready to be passed passed around and become a good old horror again.
Yeah, well, if you don't, it depends on what you want. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's going to be a lot of temptations because I am bi. But see, that's another problem is that, well, yes, I'm blind, but now I won't be able to see at all. So if I
Yeah,
have
seeing
movements
is the most important thing.
So the problem is staff takes advantage of people too.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, they do. And not only that, but there's also situations where people just sit around on phones and don't actually do their jobs right. So what if people aren't actually helping me or not actually doing anything? People get the cops called all the time. I dated a guy named Colt Helton, and he had other people in group homes like Adam Woods and shit.
Now, I find it very interesting and peculiar that Anna is out here worried about things that shouldn't even really be on her radar at this point. Now, don't get me wrong, these are actually completely founded issues to have, and completely are reasonable worries to have. Staff doing unsolicited things towards their patients is definitely nothing new, and isn't really a stretch of the imagination, but it almost feels like she's fantasizing about it in a way, almost like, man, I hope this doesn't happen to me. It's kind of weird. I don't know. I'm just getting odd vibes about it, and I just feel like if this all is true, which it kind of seems like it's true, I don't know why she'd be kind of having all these worries if it's not true, about her going blind and whatnot, and her being taken advantage of. It just seems like she has weird worries, you know what I mean? Instead of being worried about, man, I wonder if I'll actually be able to see again, or if I'll be able to make up with my family so they can help me recover through this time. But instead, she's like, nope, F it, can't fix that. I guess I'm gonna have to go get groped on by people in this mental facility.
Well, I think, well, if you wore that do-rag in there, I don't think that too many people would fuck around with you. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, I guess. I don't know what you call it a do-rag. But the thing is, I'm so well hated.
like a bandana. You know what I mean? It's
No,
like
see, the
like
problem is
tugged out.
I'm so well hated due to my history, my internet, and being a whore. People knowing who my ex-husband is, people hate me. So if I get put in a group home, I'm gonna wind up with people that know who he is, and people are gonna f with me hardcore. So my big fear is fights that will break out, the drama that'll break out, that will then become my problems. I'm gonna become the counselor, someone who's trying to fix everything. People trying to accuse me of trying to steal their boyfriends and shit, or I'm gonna wind up the cum wag in a way. I just got away from all of that. I live in a one-bedroom house. I'm divorced. Finally, just watching shows and living my life and playing my games.
I don't know if it's just me, but I almost feel a little depressed knowing that this is how Anna sees herself. It's like she's basically built it all up in her head already. She's either gonna be in fights all the time because of this perceived whoredom that she has, or she's just gonna full send it and become the cum dumpster and basically go back to where she's been this whole time. And honestly, I feel bad that that's the only thing that she feels like she can do to get out of situations like this. And in reality, all she really has to do is just apologize to her family, get off the internet, and stop being a delinquent online. And she can probably have a loving family around her to help her. But I don't know. I don't know her family dynamic like that. But it definitely is sad and depressive to know that this is how she views herself.
Yeah, so like what is the possibility, like what's the likelihood that you do end up in a group home? Or is it just like a concern? Has there been talk about it?
My dad was kind of frustrated and said that, well, my behavior specialist.
Yeah, so how did that conversation come about? Like what did that stem
My
from?
case manager, I called my case manager. My case manager suggested I go to a group home.
Okay. Do you know what that was based off of, or?
It's based off the condition that I could go, like the possibility that I could go completely blind.
Okay, so it's mostly like a vision thing.
What services do I have available going forward to reach my full benefits? If I go blind, do I get, nurse's aid, that kind of thing? Do I have people that can come in and help me? But with PAC services, I only have 3 days.
You only have how long?
3 days out of the week to have people coming in and out of my home. So I don't have I don't have like the full benefit because I'm not like blind. Does that make sense?
All right. We don't care about any of this BS. Let's get to some more good stuff here, Mark Dog. Let's get into the good meat and potatoes of all this. Where's the unhinged storytelling? Where's all the sexual escapades? Come on, Anna, let's go.
People are asking about like you have a prosthetic eye?
Yeah, it's this one.
Can you pop it in and out?
Yeah.
Can we maybe see, or
No, because it's kind of a pain to get back in.
Okay, sure, that's fair.
You really don't want to spend the next hour on me trying to pop it back in, right?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
I think the suction cup though that it has. Let me go grab it.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
You
That's
got
all
a
right.
little container thing. I got little cups, like little tiny little suction thingies, and you put it on your eye, and it suctions it. Pull it out that way.
I actually hate that I have some sort of real knowledge on this because one of my closest friends when I was a teenager and still a good friend of mine to this day in life, my good friend Tyler from Memphis, shout out my boy from Memphis, actually has a prosthetic eye, and I do have a little bit of knowledge on how they work. I do believe that she's probably telling the truth here, so it's pretty interesting. My buddy was able to kind of pop his eye in and out, not necessarily willy-nilly whenever he wanted to, but he didn't need this suction cup thing, but I'm sure he had one, and I'm sure I've seen it, but I've never was really too keen on watching him do it. It's kind of gross, but he used to pop it out to mess with people all the time, so I think if you're to skill with it and you know what you're doing, you could probably pop it in without it, but I'm not entirely sure. But unfortunately, I do have a bit of experience with people in prosthetic eyes, so I do think she's telling the truth.
How does it feel? Is it just like a gooey, like a little meatball?
Let me see. How do I describe the feeling? You can feel it coming out of your eye, going in your eye, but you don't feel it once it's in your eye. Does that make sense?
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, that'd be. I mean, I guess it's like, you know, you've known it for so long, it's normal. But
Like if I touch it like this, I can feel the glass because it's a glass eye, so it doesn't bother me for me to like touch it. I just can't push on it. But like with my other eye, it would make me like I'd be poking it, and I'd probably go, yeah, it's really well painted.
yeah, I mean, I don't never know. You know what I mean? It looks pretty convincing.
Yeah, that was the whole point. And that was covered probably by insurance. So they cover all the other ones would have to be like $1,000 if not more, depending on how much you'd have to pay for extra. Whatever insurance doesn't cover. Like if you wanted to get like a dragon eye or a cat eye or something, that would cost like out of pocket, basically. I also have other factors besides being blind. I have autism.
Yeah, that's a factor.
I fall in the category of that. I don't know if I actually have it, but I have. My case manager says I have it.
Sheesh. If Anna said any true statements this entire video, this would definitely be it. Medical prosthetics are incredibly expensive. Those little eyes are definitely $1,000 plus. My buddy Tyler's was probably up 2, 3, 4, 5 grand just for a little glass eye, you know? You look at it and they're very, very well done. Marty has a point. You would never know. But it's definitely crazy. Now, we're gonna continue going down here. Hopefully there'll be some more depravity, but if there's not, we might be wrapping this up real soon. But let's see what's going on here further with good old Mart Dog and Anna.
And she says I have like a learning delay, like mental retardation, like a mild mental retardation.
You seem pretty sharp to me. Like, I don't know. Like, you seem like
It's
you're playing
mild,
with
though.
maybe not like a full deck, but like, you know, you don't seem like an idiot. You know what I mean? Like, you seem to have some stuff going on up there.
Yeah, it's because I try really hard to hide it.
Yeah.
Because I basically
Here's the deal. Like, retards can't hide it. Like, everyone wants to hide that if they are retarded. I think everyone would want to hide that. Like, I tried my best. I don't always succeed in it. Yeah, like that's the whole goal of retard, convince people that you're not retarded. And I think you do a great job of it. You know what I mean? Like I probably better than I do a lot of the times. But yeah, I don't think you've never struck me as a retarded person. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, that's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm actually happy about that. That's also because I'm also capable of learning new information, and I watch a lot of videos and a lot of stuff, and I teach myself things. Like I studied biology from like YouTube or whatever. Sorry, I had to take up. I basically like looked up a lot of other things. There's books I read and stuff like that too. So there's all that stuff also plays a factor. But the internet really helped.
I think people genuinely misunderstand autism and how broad of a spectrum autism actually is. You have high functioning, you have, all kinds of different levels and elements to something like autism. I think that people put it in this handbasket with people that are actually dumb or have like severe mental illnesses and stuff like that. And while that is on the spectrum of autism is such a massive and over-encompassing term that it really isn't a fair term. A lot of terms have been phased out like Asperger's, etc., in favor of just calling it, say, high-functioning autism and stuff like like that. But it is such a wide variety of people that are encompassed in this whole thing. You could be autistic and not even know it, you know? It could be as simple as you missing out on social cues, or it could be as obvious and deep down as somebody, say, who physically shows that they are, say, autistic. It's just a very deep term that needs to be studied more and have a little bit more terminology added to it to help people understand and kind of put things in a box a little bit more. Because when you say autistic, the average person, and maybe I'm just speaking out of turn here, probably assumes that that person's probably not very smart. And that's definitely not the case. Some of the most successful people in the world are autistic.
Yeah, so yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, I'm assuming that like you wanted me to watch it and like probably figured that I might play it. Like, what's like the motivation there? Like, if anything, I would want people not to see it, but it seems like you do want people to see it, which kind of
already out there. It's got like 25,000 25.
yeah, but you want like more people to see it.
I mean, it's gonna get out there, so it doesn't really matter either way.
Well, yeah, I mean, like whether it does or doesn't, I'll agree that like it probably will, but like you enjoy that for some reason it seems.
Yeah, it's pretty entertaining. It's pretty fun to see myself or whatever. But I was pretty shocked. This one did pretty much shock me. Not gonna lie, this one was shocking, especially the way it ends.
I think they did a pretty good job like compiling everything. I thought it was well put together.
Yeah, I like how some of them do that. That's really cool. But this one is really deep. With being accurate and shit. Oh my gosh, about my dad, the thing about my brother and me.
What?
The thing about the 13-year-old on Tinder.
What?
Oh my god, calling me a pedophile.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to consider though if it's causing problems between you and your sister, then like, is it really responsible to show it?
Does anybody else get the vibe that Anna is taking this as some sort of like media run, some sort of press scrum, if you will? Like this is some sort of movie that she's premiering in. It's just another YouTube documentary about her that she happens to say is super accurate, so that's cool. I'll definitely check it out so I can learn a bit more about her and all these crazy accusations she's bringing up. Definitely does seem like she's addicted to the attention. She's like most of these other locals out there in the field grazing. She really wants to be noticed, but she doesn't really have any skills, and she doesn't have any discernible reason that we actually should care about her. She does say some outlandish things. She has allegedly done some absolutely mind-boggling things. I guess from afar we can point and laugh and enjoy the content. There is still quite a bit of content left in the Anaconda portion of Marty's stream that happened the other day. You can go to rumble.com and find Music Biz Marty, all one word on there. He streams on there multiple times a week from what I can see. Most of what you see in the end of the rest of this is just kind of more of the same, them talking about the same things over and over. She does spill some more crazy stories and whatnot. I think you guys will enjoy watching that over on Marty's side of things. Again, thank you guys so much for supporting the channel the way you do. I couldn't do this on the daily basis that I do without you guys. Be sure to hit that like button as it helps this video grow a ton. The more likes this gets, the more YouTube promotes it, and we definitely need more eyes on people like Anna. Be sure to subscribe if you're new. We're making our way to 16,000 subscribers. We're pretty close to that. Let's see if we can't knock that out by the end of the month. That would be really cool. A great Thanksgiving gift, if you will. And be sure to leave me a comment and let me know what you think about Anna and all of these shenanigans.